Hello guys and welcome back to the Law on Obligations and Contract series. So nandito na tayo sa part 2 ng ating Extinguishment of Obligations. This is based from the Civil Code Articles 1231 to 1304. So before we start, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel to alert you on the release of upcoming videos. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, okay, if you like this video. And we have prepared a full course of this series dun sa link below. So, pwede kayo mag-sign up. It's free. You just need an email address. Okay? So, ayan. Extinguishment of obligations tayo, guys. Yung first part, na-release natin kahapon. That is the payment or performance from Articles 1232 to 1251. So for this video, we have the second part which will cover special modes of payment, loss of the thing, condonation, and confusion. So those are based from Articles 1252 to 1277. Okay, so kunin ko lang yung highlighter ko. Okay, so ayan. Ito tayo ngayon. So part 2 tayo ngayon. And hopefully tomorrow, okay, tomorrow ma-release natin yung part 3 which will cover compensation and novation based on Articles 1278 to 1304. Okay, so let's start. Okay, what are the special modes of payment? So we have 4. We have number 1, application of payment. Number 2, Dation in payment. Number 3, payment by cession. And number 4, tender of payment and consignation. Okay. So, unahin muna natin yung application of payment. So, ang ating first article dun sa application of payment is Article 1252. He who has various debts, okay, so various debt, ibig sabihin marami, of the same kind, in favor of one and the same creditor may declare at the time of making the payment to which of them the same must be applied. Unless the party so stipulate or when the application of payment is made by the party for whose benefit the term has been constituted. Application shall not be made as to debts which are not yet due. Okay, so continued. I-flash muna natin yung mga related articles. So, if the debtor accepts the creditor a receipt in which an application of payment is made, the former cannot complain of the same unless there is a cause for invalidating the contract. Okay, Article 1253, if the debt produces interest, payment of the principal shall not be deemed to have been made until the interest have been recovered. So, ito yung actually ito yung principle behind the yung pag what do you call this, nag-amortize tayo ng mga notes, 'di ba? Or ng mga bonds, so whatsoever, every time na merong payment, ina-apply muna natin yun sa interest before the principal payment. Okay? So 1254, when the payment cannot be applied in accordance with the preceding rules or if application cannot be inferred from other circumstances, the debt which is most onerous to the debtor among those due shall be deemed to have been satisfied. So explain natin ito mamaya. If the debt due are of the same nature and burden, the payment shall be made or applied to all of them proportionately. So, i-explain din natin yan mamaya kung ano yan. Okay, so ayan. Before tayo mag-start dun sa example natin, linawin natin yung mga different requisites in application of payment. So, by the way, ano nga ba muna ang application of payment? Inuulit ko, pag sinabi nating application of payment kasi, ito yung instance wherein meron kang pambayad, yun nga lang, yung pambayad mo, hindi po siya sapat para mabayaran lahat ng utang mo. So, take note, dapat meron kang 2 or more debts to the same creditor. Okay? So, nandito sa requisite natin, number 1, at least 2 debts are due. Okay? Para magkaroon ng application of payment. So, dapat meron kang at least 2 utang. Okay? Number 2, 1 debtor and 1 creditor only. Okay? Ibig sabihin, ikaw na debtor, ikaw yung may 2 utang dun sa nag-iisang creditor na yun. Okay? On the same creditor lang. Okay? Number 3, application of payment can be made only on debts that are due. Okay? Dapat nag-due na yung mga yan kasi hindi mo pwedeng applyan yan ng bayad if hindi pa siya nag-due. Okay, number 4, payment cannot cover all debts due. Ibig sabihin, kulang yung pambayad mo, di ba? Yun nga yung sinasabi ko kanina. So, magkakaroon ng application of payment. Kasi, kung kaya naman palang bayaran lahat nung readily available cash mo, yung lahat ng utang mo. So, bakit pa tayo pipili ng babayaran, di ba? Kasi pwede namang babayaran lahat eh. So, yun yung pang-apat na requisite natin. Payment cannot cover all the debts due. Number 5, application of payment can be made only to debts of the same kind. So, mamaya explain natin yan dun sa example. Okay? Pero obviously, merong parang kumbaga, actually, common sense lang to number 5. So, ayan. Yan na natin yung example. Ito yung example natin. D is indebted to C. Below are the debts of D to C, which, with their corresponding due dates. Okay? So, meron tayong 6 na, dito, na mga different debts or utang. So, meron siyang debt which is due on June 30, 10,000. Merong due on July 8, 12,000. Merong due on July 5. Ito naman, hindi naman siya monetary. This time, ito ay isang to give a specific cut. Okay? Number 4, July 12, 8,000 with 12% annual interest. Number 5, July 13. Okay, due on July 13, 15,000 secured by a chattel mortgage. And number 6, July 15, 9,000. Okay. Assuming on July 14, D is ready to pay but only up to 20,000. Okay? Only up to 20,000. Yun lang yung readily available na pambayad niya. So, i-determine nga natin, i-analyze nga natin tong problem na to, whether pwede bang magkaroon ng application of payment dito. Okay, so first of all, tignan muna natin yung date. Today daw is July 14, so pwede nang magbayad daw si D. Ready siya magbayad ng 20,000. So ang tanong, itong 20,000 ba hindi ba siya sapat para i-cover up lahat ng pwede niyang nung mga nag-June na utang niya. Okay, so tignan natin. So, ang magiging reference point natin, ibig sabihin, pag July 14, lahat ng mga debts na nag-due ay from numbers 1 to number 5 lang, hindi nakasama si number 6. So, automatically, alis si number 6. Okay? Aalisin natin yan kasi hindi pa naman siya nag-due. So, hindi siya kasama sa ating application of payment or pwedeng pag-applyan ng payment. Okay. So, next analysis na titignan natin. Ang ibabayad niya ay pera. Okay? Pera. Obviously, sabi dito sa application of payment kanina, sa requisite na sinasabi kong magiging common sense lang din mamaya is, yun nga, alin sa mga obligation from 1 to 5 ang pwede nating ulit tanggalin. Kasi, hindi naman siya of the same kind sa ibinabayad. O, obviously, number 3. So, hindi pasok si number 3. Hindi po pwedeng pag-applyan ng utang yan. Unless, yung specific cut ay nawala through the debtor's fault. So, ang mangyayari doon ay mako-convert siya into a monetary obligation, di ba? Okay, pero hindi naman yung binanggit sa problem. So, hindi siya pwedeng pag-applyan ng payment. So, in this case, so, naalis na natin si number 3 and number 6. Okay. So, yung natira, number 1, number 2, number 4, and number 5. So, itong 4 na debts na ito, so, kasama sila sa pwedeng pag-applyan ng payment kasi lahat naman sila, first of all, lahat sila pera. Okay, so pasok yung 20,000 dito na ready natin ibayad. And also, lahat sila nag-June na. Diba? July 14 ngayon, assuming, di ba? July 14 ngayon. Lahat sila nag-June na, so pwede nang pag-applyan ng payment. Okay? Pero ang tanong, paano i-apply yung payment? So, yun na yung medyo, yun na yung mga medyo may rules tayo na susundan. Okay? So, natanggal na yung 3 and 4. Okay, so ayan, para medyo magmukhang malinis, iniwan natin yung 4. Okay? So in this case, ang tanong, paano i-apply yung payment? So, saan ibabayad tong 20,000? Okay? So, as a general rule, tatandaan nyo, ang pwedeng mag-apply ng payment ay si debtor. Okay? Si debtor. Ibig sabihin, yung 20,000, pwede niyang i-apply kahit alin dyan sa number 1, 2, 3, 4. Pwede niyang yung 20,000 ipambayad niya dun sa 10,000 and portion nung 12,000. Pwede yon. Okay ba? Pwede yon. Pwede rin namang i-apply niyo yung 5,000 sa 10,000, 5,000 dito, 5,000 din dito, 5,000 din dito. Babawasan niya ng tigpa 5,000 hanggang maubos yung 20,000. So, pwede rin yun. Pwede niyang i-apply na ganun. Okay? So, ayun. Siya ang pwedeng mag-apply initially. Okay? Pero what if hindi niya in-apply yung 20,000 sa kahit anong utang? Basta ibinayad niya na lang kay creditor. Si creditor naman in-accept niya. So, ang mangyayari, this time, kapag hindi in-apply ni debtor, ang pwede na mag-apply this time ay si creditor. Okay? So, i-apply niya kung saan man niya gusto. Parang ganun din sa debtor. Okay? Pero what if? Okay? What if hindi rin in-apply ni creditor? Basta tinanggap niya lang. And then, wala na. Okay? So, saan mag-a-apply yung utang natin? Okay, mag-a-apply yung utang natin doon sa pinaka-burdensome na utang. So, in this case, alin dyan ang pinaka-burdensome or parang kumbaga pinaka-onerous? Okay? Pag sinabi natin pinaka-onerous kasi, yun nga, pinaka-magiging burdensome pag hindi nabayaran ka agad. Okay, so obviously, ang pinaka-magiging burdensome dyan is either number 3 or number 4. Kasi ganito yan. Pag hindi mo nabayaran yung 8,000, mag-earn yan ng interest hanggat hindi mo nababayaran. Si 15,000 pero, kung hindi mo yan nabayaran, at totally hindi mo na talaga mabayaran, may chance na ma-foreclose itong kung ano man yung chinattel mortgage mo. So, yun ang mangyayari. Very burdensome yun on your part. Okay? So, alin ang mas burdensome sa number 3 and number 4? Actually, di natin matiyak, pero, okay, so, assuming number 3 and number 4 are of equal burden. Okay? Are of equal burden. So, ibig sabihin, dalawa yung pwede nating initially pag-applyan ng utang, which is number 3 and number 4. Okay? At kung meron mang maiwan pa sa 20,000 once na in-apply natin siya sa number 3 and number 4 na utang, doon na natin pwedeng i-apply sa number 1 and number 2. Okay? Pero paano siya i-apply sa number 3 and number 4 initially? Sabi doon sa article na nabasa natin kanina, proportionately. So, paano yung proportionately? Ganito. Okay? So, alis daw si number 1 and number 2 kasi ang mas burdensome ay number 3 and number 4. So, paano yung proportionately? Ganito yung proportionately. So, ito yung utang na due on July 12. Ito rin naman yung utang na due on July 13. So, kung mapapansin nyo, in-apply natin yung 20,000 proportionately. So, yung unang utang, 8,000 over 23,000. So, by the way, yung 23,000, nakuha po natin yan sa sa pamamagitan ng pag-a-add nung 8,000 plus 15,000. So, we come up with 23,000. So, 8,000 over 23,000 times 20,000. So, ito yun. Okay? And ganun din sa kabila, 20,000 times, ayun, 15,000 over 23,000. So, we have 13,043. So, kung tinry nyo, para i-check kung tama yung napalabas natin, try nyo i-add si 6,957 sa 13,043. It will yield a sum of 20,000, which is, yun yung binayad natin. Okay? So, yan yung mababawas sa utang. Okay? So, yan yung magiging payment sa bawat utang na yan. So, dun sa 8,000, ang babayaran natin ay 6,957. So, therefore, pag nabayaran natin itong amount na to, ang matitira na lang sa utang na yan or magiging outstanding balance ng utang na yan ay 1,043. Ganun din sa kabila. Okay? So, ang binayaran natin ay 13,043. And then, ayun, 15,000 minus 13,043. So, ang ating outstanding balance ay 1,957. So, that's how you apply payment. Okay? So, ayan. Yan po ang application of payment. So, let's proceed to the next, what do you call this? Next, special mode of payment. So, ayan. Article 1255. The debtor may cede or assign his property to his creditors in payment of his debt. So, by the way, this is, ito yung article related to payment by cession. So, this cession, unless there is a stipulation to the contrary, shall only release the debt from responsibility for the net proceeds of the thing assigned. The agreement which on the effect of the cession are made between the debtor and his creditor shall be governed by special law. So, wag niyo nang pansinin masyado yung last sentence. Okay, ayan. Para maging efficient tayo sa pagdi-discuss, so i-discuss natin ng sabay yung payment by cession and Dation in payment. Ano nga ba ang pagkakaiba ng dalawang ito? Okay, basically, in terms of yung parang kung paano sila ginawa, siguro sa unang tingin, halos pares lang sila kasi yun nga, para ma-extinguish yung utang mo or mabayaran yung utang mo, magbibigay ka ng property. Okay? Yun yung similar dito sa dalawang to. Pero Actually, maraming pagkakaiba tong dalawang to. So, nilagay natin siya in table form. So, yung payment by session, pwede lang siyang gawin kapag insolvent yung debtor. Hindi po siya pwedeng gawin kapag hindi naman siya insolvent. Kasi, obviously, pwede naman niyang bayaran. Okay, via cash. So, no need to, to cede your properties. Okay? So, ayan. Pagdating naman sa dash in payment, it doesn't matter if the debtor is insolvent or not or solvent, di ba? So it doesn't matter. Debtor may or may not be solvent. It doesn't matter. Pwede pa rin magkaroon ng dash in payment whether the debtor is solvent or insolvent. So ganun lang yun kasimple. Okay? Next na difference nila. Okay? Under payment by session, there must be 2 or more creditors. However, in dash in payment, the plurality of creditors is not required. Okay? Therefore, in dash in payment, there may be only one creditor, there may be 2 or more creditors, so it doesn't matter. Pwede pa rin magkaroon ng dash in payment. It does not require the plurality of creditors. Okay? So, ganun lang yung kasimple. Next, pangatlong difference between the two. Okay? So, sa payment by session kasi, kapag di ba, mag-undergo ka ng payment by session, lahat ng properties mo ay affected. Lahat ng properties mo ay ipambabayad mo. So, affects all properties of debtor except those exempted by law. Okay, so ayan mga exempted by law, hindi tayo sure dyan kung ano ba yung mga specifically. Basta alam natin merong siguro exemption. Okay? Pagdating naman sa dash in payment, the property that is only affected is the property which the debtor specifically chose to fulfill his obligation. Okay? So, yung example natin kasi last time dyan, di ba? If si X, yun nga, di ba? X may utang kay Y na let's say 10,000. Napag-usapan nila na hindi na lang 10,000 pesos, kundi i-deliver na lang ni X yung laptop niya bilang pambayad dun sa 10,000. So, yung laptop lang affected. Okay? In dash in payment. Kasi yun lang yung specifically pinili nung debtor bilang pambayad. Okay? At syempre, napag-usapan nila ni creditor na yun na lang ang pambayad. Okay? So, it only affects specific properties. Okay? Unlike the payment by session na lahat ng properties, almost, di ba? Pero, syempre, may mga exemptions. Okay, next. The right to sell passes to the creditor. Okay? So, by the way, hindi porkit pinambabayad natin yung utang, hindi ibig sabihin na binibigay pinambabayad natin yung utang. Hindi porkit pinambabayad natin yung all properties dito sa payment by session, hindi ibig sabihin na binibigay natin yung properties na yun sa ating mga creditors. Okay? Hindi ibig sabihin ganun. Ang binibigay lang natin is the right to sell. Okay? The right to sell those properties. Okay? So, hindi pwedeng angkinin yung mga yun nung mga creditor. So, required sila na ibenta yon, and then kung ano man yung maging proceeds doon sa gawin nilang sale doon sa mga properties na yun yung ia-apply doon sa utang. However, in dash in payment, it is the ownership that passes to the creditor. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kung ownership ang magpapasa sa creditor, si creditor meron siyang option whether to sell that specific property or not, or 'di ba? Itago niya na lang or ibenta niya. Mali mo tumubo pa siya. So, pwede. Okay? It doesn't matter kasi basically siya na yung magiging bagong owner ng specific thing na yun. So, wala na tayong pake kung ano man ang gawin niya doon. Okay? So, last na pagkakaiba ng dalawa. So, under payment by session, obligation is extinguished up to the extent only of the proceeds from the property. So, ganito yan. Hindi porkit sinid mo lahat or inassign mo lahat or binigay mo lahat ng properties mo, okay? Or binigay mo yung right to sell your properties, hindi ibig sabihin na wala ka ng utang. Depende pa yun kung magkano nila mabenta yung mga properties mo. Okay? So, kung nabenta nila yun, okay? Kapag nabenta nila yun ng mas mababa pa doon sa utang mo, ibig sabihin, may utang ka pa rin, which is yun yung deficiency, di ba? So, for example, ang utang mo 1 million, pero nabenta nila yung mga properties mo for only 800,000. So, may utang ka pa rin na 200,000. Okay? So, yun. However, in dash in payment, yun nga, kasi ang tinatransfer mo ay ownership, so it doesn't matter kung ibebenta nyo yun or hindi. Actually, it doesn't matter kung sakali binenta niya man, mas mataas yung nakuha niya, o di, okay, di ba? Maganda para kay creditor yun, tumubo siya. Pero what if si creditor binenta niya yung example natin kanina, binenta niya yung laptop. Ang na-realize niya lang is 5,000. Okay, walang gustong bumili for 10,000. So, pwede niya bang singilin yung deficiency na 5,000 ulit from the debtor? The answer is no. Kasi from the moment na inaccept niya yung laptop as a payment, so that is Dation in payment, extinguish na yung obligation ni debtor. So, hindi na siya pwedeng balikan. So, dito sabi natin, obligation is fully extinguished regardless of the existence of deficiency in proceeds from the property. Furthermore, the creditor is not required to sell the property actually, di ba? Okay, so ayan. Yan yung difference ng payment by cession and Dation in payment. Okay? So ayan, huwag niyong kakalimutan po yung table na yan. So next, we will go now to the tender of payment and consignation. So what is tender of payment? Ayan, meron tayong example, meron tayong definition dyan. This is the act of the debtor showing intention of complying with his obligation. So in this section, tender of payment is valid. Okay, magkakaroon lang ng valid tender of payment, therefore, pwede tayo mag-proceed sa consignation. If you are tendering a legal tender. So what is legal tender? So ayan, legal tender, these are bills and coins issued by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas or BSP. So, actually, hindi porket, okay, again, may rules tayo dyan, okay? Kapag ang utang mo ay, let's say, 1 million, okay? Kapag ang utang mo ay 1 million, grabe naman, nababayaran mo siya via coins, di ba? So, piso, 5 piso, 10 peso, or much more centavos na 1 million. So, grabe naman yun. Hindi ko alam kung gaano kadami yun. Okay? So, in that case, ayan, merong nirelease na guidelines yung ito, BSP. So, BSP Circular number 537 series of 2006. So, kapag ang utang natin ay, let's say, up to 100 pesos lang, okay lang na magbayad tayo ng centavos. So, medyo, although siguro medyo mabigat pa rin yun, pero, at least, kayang-kayang buhatin pa rin, di ba? Kapag ibabayad mo yun. So, pag sinabi kasi nating legal tender, ito yung ibabayad mo na hindi nila pwedeng tanggihan. Okay? Kasi kapag kunwari, nagbayad ka ng cheque, binabayad mo cheque, pwede pa nilang tanggihan yun kasi hindi yun legal tender. Okay? Hindi legal tender ang cheque. Kahit na anong klaseng cheque pa yan. Kahit na manager's check pa yan or whatsoever. Okay? So, ang legal tender ay yung pera. Okay? So, ayan. Kapag ang utang mo ay 100 pesos, up to 100 pesos, okay lang na magbayad ng centavos. Pero kung lumampas na yan ng 100 pesos, ayan, wag naman na puro centavos. Dagdagan mo na ng piso, 5 piso, 10 piso. Okay? And again, kapag piso, 5 piso, 10 piso, ano yan? May limit pa rin yan. Up to 1,000 pesos. Okay? So, ayan. Okay. Pero, paano kung utang mo more than 1,000 pesos? So, ang magiging option mo na lang ay magbayad using perang papel. Okay? So, ayan. Kapag may utang kang 1 million, ibayad mo, tigbe 20. So, marami pa rin yun actually. Okay? Tigbe 20. Okay? So, pwede yun. Unlimited amount. Okay? So, yun yung legal tender natin. Pag sinabi nating legal tender, yun yung currency or yun yung what do you call this, instrument na pwede mong i-compel si creditor na i-accept. Dahil kung hindi man niya yun in-accept, syempre magkakaroon ng mora accipienti sa kanyang part, di ba? Magkakaroon ng delay on his part as long as syempre nag-comply ka rin sa tamang procedure sa payment. Okay? So, ayan. So, tender of payment. So, now, let's go to consignation. What is consignation? So, yung consignation, dinefine po siya ng Article 1258. So, this is made by depositing the things due at the disposal of judicial authority, before whom the tender of payment shall be proved in a proper case and the announcement of the consignation in other cases. So, ayan. Ano ba yan? Okay. Kasi magkasama lagi ito tender of payment and consignation. Generally, hindi pwedeng magkaroon ng consignation kapag wala pang valid tender of payment. Okay, so by the way, what is consignation? So, ayun nga, i-deposit natin yung utang natin sa isang judicial authority. May mga reasons dyan. For example, yun nga, nagbabayad tayo sa creditor, ayaw niyang i-accept without a valid reason. So, ang mangyari, nagkaroon na tayo ng tender of payment, di ba? So, ayaw niya i-accept, syempre, pangit naman yun sa part natin, mamaya magastos natin yung pinambabayad natin, di ba? So, kailangan, at least, wala ka ng utang. Okay? So, ang pwedeng maging option mo kung ayaw niyang tanggapin without a valid cause is, i-deposit mo on judicial authority. So, may certain process yan. So, next, yan na natin. Okay? So, ayun nga, general rule, there can be no consignation without a valid tender of payment. Yun yung sinasabi natin kasi magkadugtong lagi yun. Pero may mga exemptions na tayo. Okay, this is based on Article 1256. So, ito yung mga exemptions natin. Ibig sabihin, hindi kailangan ng tender of payment sa mga cases na ito. Pwede kang mag-proceed kaagad sa consignation. Okay? Pwede mong i-deposit kaagad kapag ito, meron ito. Okay? In these following situations. Okay? Inulit ko, general rule, hindi pwedeng magkaroon ng consignation ng walang valid tender of payment. Pero, there are exemptions to the rule. So, pwedeng consignation kaagad, wala ng tender of payment. Okay ba? Okay, so let's proceed. So, what are the requisites of tender of payment and consignation? So, number 1, the debt is already due. Malamang-lamang kasi kung hindi pa siya already due, hindi valid yung tender of payment na ginagawa mo. Okay? So, magkakaroon lang ng valid tender of payment na ginagawa, di ba? Magkakaroon lang ng valid tender of payment kapag, syempre, nag-due na yung utang. Okay? Unless, the benefit of the period is, nasa sayo lang. Okay, so ayan yung benefit na talakay na naman natin yung benefit of the period, okay? So number 2, tender of payment made by creditor but creditor refuses to accept payment without valid cause. So ayun, nag-tender of payment na tayo pero hindi tinanggap ng creditor without a valid cause. Okay? So ang mangyayari is yun nga. At least ginawa na natin yung part natin. In-attempt nating magbayad. Okay? Magbayad. Pero, hindi niya in-accept. So, ayun. Pwede na tayong mag-proceed sa consignation. Pero, before that, okay, this is required. Inuulit ko, before that, ito kasi yung number 4. Ito yung actual consignation. Before number 4, may number 3. Okay? So, notice of consignation must be given to interested person. So, last time na pag-aralan natin kung ano yung mga interested person. Yan yung mga guarantor, surety, sino pa ba? O yung mga preferred creditors or whatsoever, yung mga owners of securities. So, ayan. Itong rule na to sa number 3, mababasa nyo yan sa Article 1257. So, inuulit ko, required po yung number 3. Dapat ibigay mo yung notice. Magbigay ka muna ng notice sa mga interested persons. Okay? Kasi kung hindi mo yan ginawa, okay, invalid yung gagawin mong consignation sa number 4. Okay? So, number 4 is the actual consignation. So, pupunta ka sa isang court, tapos yun nga, i-deposit mo yung pera. Okay? Tapos, syempre, doon, siguro may procedure doon, may tamang procedure doon, wherein tatanungin ka nila, nagkaroon ka na ba ng tender of payment? Syempre, yung burden of proof, nasa sayo. Okay? Hindi rin siguro ganun yun basta-basta. So, marami kang kailangang fill upon or whatsoever. Hindi ko pa naman nasubukan yan, number 4. Okay? So, yung number 4, yun yung actual consignation. So, this is based from Article 1258, paragraph 1. Okay. So, next, number 5. Okay. After mong ma-deposit sa court, so, cleared ka na. After mong ma-deposit sa court, number 5. Again, magbibigay tayo ng notice. Notice must be given to interested person that the consignation was made. Okay? Was made. Okay? Una, so dalawang required natin dito, 3 and 5. Okay? Bago mo i-deposit, magbigay ka ng notice. Tapos after mo ma-deposit, magbigay ka ulit ng notice na deposit na. So that is based on Article 1258 paragraph 2. So yun yung mga requisites or pwede it's safe to say na ito yung parang kumbaga process ng tender of payment and consignation. Okay? So, next, Article 1259. So, this is still part of tender of payment and consignation. So, the expenses of consignation, when properly made, yun yung number 4 na step natin, shall be charged against the debtor. So, ang mangyayari, kung i-claim na ni creditor doon sa specific court na yun na pinagdepositahan natin, bawas na yung makukuha niya. Siyempre, ibabawas na yung mga expenses, di ba? Administrative expenses. Okay? So, next, Article 1260. What is Article 1260? Medyo mahaba. Once the consignation has been duly made, the debtor may ask the judge to order the cancellation of the obligation. So, ayan. Ibig sabihin, hindi porket na-consignate mo na, automatically, okay? Automatically, extinguish na yung obligation mo. Actually, may choice ka pa rin kasi na kunin. Di ba? May kunin, bawiin yung dineposit. Ayun, i-withdraw. Nasa second paragraph. Okay, so ayan. Before the creditor has accepted the consignation or before judicial declaration that the consignation has been properly made, the debtor may withdraw the thing or the sum deposited, allowing the obligation to remain in force. So, mabubuhay yung obligation niya. ay hindi pala magbubuhay, magre-remain in force, okay? Kasi syempre, totally ma-extinguish yung obligation niya once na nangyari either itong dalawang to, ito yun, yung cancellation of the obligation na yung order from the judge, okay? So, nandyan yung judicial, ito rin yun, yung judicial declaration of consignation. Tapos ito, ask the judge to cancel the obligation, ito rin yun. Or, acknowledgement by the creditor or acceptance of the creditor of the consignation. So, kapag nangyari either yung dalawang yan, magkakaroon na ng may extinguish na yung obligation ni actually pag nangyari yung dalawa pala yan, hindi either. Pag nangyari yung dalawang yan, may extinguish na totally yung what do you call this? May extinguish na totally yung obligation ni debtor. Okay, so inulit ko, pag nangyari yung dalawang yan. Kasi, pag either sa dalawang yan, hindi pa tapos, for example, nagbigay na ng, nagkaroon na ng judicial declaration that the consignation has been properly made. Hindi ibig sabihin, pero hindi pa ina-accept ni creditor yung consignation, hindi pa siya, kumbaga, actually, at that moment, oo, extinguish na siya, pero, pwede pang ma-withdraw. Okay? Pwede pang ma-withdraw. Okay? Pwede pang ma-withdraw. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, ayan, may chance na magre-remain pa rin in force yung obligation natin. Okay? Or, di ba, yung kabaliktaran naman na scenario wherein, in-accept na ni creditor yung consignation, pero, okay, hindi pa nagkakaroon ng declaration that the consignation has been properly made by the judge. Okay? So, ayun. Yun ang mangyayari dyan. Okay? So, pwede pang ma-withdraw. Okay? Pero ang tanong, okay? Ito ang tanong. What if nangyari na tong dalawang to? In-accept na ng creditor yung consignation, at the same time, nagkaroon na rin ng declaration of the consignation na ito ay properly made. Pwede pa rin bang ma-withdraw? Okay? Pwede pa rin bang ma-withdraw? Kasi hindi ibig sabihin na in-accept na ni creditor yung consignation is, kinlaim niya na yung nakadeposit. Hindi ibig sabihin, di ba? Ang tanong, pwede pa rin bang ma-withdraw ni debtor yung, what do you call this? Yung dineposit niya. The answer is, okay, nandito sa Article 1261. If the consignation has been made, the creditor should authorize, okay? So, ito lang yung kailangan. So, kapag nangyari na yung dalawang yun, yung declaration na yung consignation has been properly made and the acceptance of the creditor of the consignation, pwede niya pa rin ma-withdraw kapag ito ay inauthorize ni creditor. Okay? Kapag ito ay inauthorize, inuulit ko, kapag ito ay inauthorize ni creditor. Okay? However, si creditor, malulus niya every preference doon sa utang na yun. Nandito, nakasulat. Okay? Anong ibig sabihin nun? So, for example, yung utang na yun, merong security or merong guarantor. Okay? Lahat ng mga yun, mawawala na. Simpleng utang na lang siya na walang security. So ayun. Kasi hinayaan niya Parang kumbaga, chance na yun nung mga persons interested in the fulfillment of the obligation na mawalan na sila ng liability. Kasi, syempre, subsidiarily liable sila dun sa utang na yun. So, chance na sana yun na mawalan sila ng liability. However, si creditor, inauthorize niya. Okay? Inauthorize niya si debtor na i-withdraw yung nakadeposit. Thereby, parang kumbaga hinayaan niya na ma-revive yung debt. Hindi lang yung debt ang ma-revive, di ba? Ma-revive sana rin yung pero yun nga, thanks to Article 1261, hindi na ma-revive yung subsidiary liability ng mga interested persons na yun. Okay? So yun ang magandang parang kumbaga, yun ang kagandahan ng Article 1261 para dun sa mga interested persons. Okay? So, next, let's move on to the next type of or mode of extinguishment of obligation. So, ang haba ng payment or performance. So, that is our first mode of extinguishment of obligation. Pero, huwag kayong mag-alala. Itong mga sumusunod, maikli lang tong mga to and most of them halos na-discuss na natin especially itong loss of the thing, di ba? Na-discuss na natin to most of this dun sa nature and effects of obligation. Okay, so pag loss of the thing, inuulit ko, yun nga, nag-a-apply to sa isang, nag-a-apply to sa mga obligation to give a specific thing wherein the loss of the thing is due to fortuitous event. So, ayun. Okay, so 1262, basahin natin. An obligation which consists in the delivery of a determinate thing shall be extinguished if it should be lost or destroyed without the fault. Kapag without the fault, meaning it is caused by something else. So, that is considered to be a fortuitous event. Tapos, dito naman sa paragraph 2, binanggit nyo yung mga, exemptions. Okay, exemptions to the general rule. Okay, which is nabanggit na rin natin to sa, or na-explain na natin to sa nature and effects of obligation. So, balikan nyo yung video kung nakalimutan nyo na. Okay? So, next. Article 1263. In an obligation to deliver a generic thing, the loss or destruction of anything of the same kind as na extinguish the obligation. Kasi, di ba? Genus non quam peruit. So, ibig sabihin, genus never perishes. So, kapag ang obligation mo ay obligation to give a specific thing, obligation to give a generic dog. Kapag nawala yung generic dog na yun via fortuitous event, it doesn't matter. Meron ka pa ring obligation kasi pwede ka namang bumili ng other type of dog. Diba? Or, other dog. Okay? So yun. Okay, 1264. The court shall determine whether under the circumstances the partial loss of the object of the obligation is so important as to extinguish the obligation. Okay, so ang example natin dito ay based on the example of De Leon. So, this is, ito nga, S obliged himself to deliver to B a specific racehorse. Okay? The horse met an accident as a result which is suffered a broken leg. Okay, yung broken leg, partial loss yun kasi hindi mo na siya magagamit although nag-exist pa rin yung horse, di ba? The injury is permanent. So, here, the partial loss is so important as to extinguish the obligation kasi ang purpose ni B dun sa horse na yan ay pangkarera. Race horse. So, kapag na-injure yan, broken leg, hindi na yan makakatakbo. So, meaning, hindi niya na rin lang mapapakinabangan yung horse na yan. Okay? So, that is partial loss, pero it's very important as to extinguish the obligation. Okay? So, Article 1265. Whenever the thing is lost in the possession of the debtor, it shall be presumed that the loss was due to his fault unless there is proof to the contrary, etc. Okay? So, ang gusto lang palabasin ng 1265, kapag silent si problem, di ba? Kapag silent si problem, tapos sinabi na nawala ang isang bagay, at hindi naman siya sinabing nawala through fortuitous event, ang presumption dyan is, nawala through the fault of the debtor. Okay? So, yun yung magiging presumption dyan. Okay? So, 1266. The debtor in obligations to do shall also be released when the prestation becomes legally or physically impossible without the fault of the obligor. So, example tayo, S is obliged to deliver a specific turtle to B. Before delivery, the specific turtle was declared to be an endangered species and a law was immediately passed at once to render selling these turtles illegal. So, ang mangyayari is, may extinguish na yung obligation niya kasi nga, naging illegal na yung specific obligation nito which is to sell turtles. Okay? So, yun ang mangyayari. Okay? Article 1266. So, next. Okay, Article 1267. When the service has become so difficult as to be manifestly beyond the contemplation of the parties, the obligor may also be released therefrom in whole or in part. So, example tayo, X agreed to construct. So, again, this is based from the example of De Leon. So, X agreed to construct a road near a mountain. A very strong typhoon caused an avalanche, making the construction of the road dangerous to human lives. So, ang nangyari dito is, although hindi impossible na gawin yung construction, ng road, pero naging delikado. So, ang sinasabi kasi, pag binalikan natin, becomes so difficult, as to be manifestly beyond the contemplation of the parties. Parang kumbaga, hindi nila inaasahan na magiging ganun kahirap. Okay? Kasi syempre, madali lang naman mag-build ng road, pero mahirap mag-build ng road kapag nagkaroon ng avalanche, di ba? Nagkaroon ng avalanche yun sa part na yun. Okay? So, mahirap talaga yun. Okay? So, in this case, anong sabi dito? The obligor may be released, from his obligation in whole or in part. So, depende sa magiging difficulty. Okay, so next tayo, Article 1268. When the debtor of a thing certain and determinate proceeds from a criminal offense, the debtor shall not be exempted from the payment of its price, whatever may be the cause for the loss, unless the thing having been offered by him to the person who should retrieve it, the latter refuse without justification to accept it. Okay? So, example tayo. So, same example tayo. X is obliged to deliver a specific car to Y. Ganon din si X sa second situation natin, pero ang pagkakaiba, yung first situation natin is based from a civil obligation wherein siguro nagkaroon ng bentahan kayo, si X obliged siyang mag-deliver kay Y ng isang specific car. However, in the second example natin, X is obliged to deliver a specific car to Y because, okay, yung obligation na yon, it is a result from a criminal obligation wherein ninakaw ni X yung car na yun from Y. So, yun. Obliged siyang i-return. Okay? So, nagkakaroon tayo ng restitution. Okay? Part of, parang kumaga civil liability ito coming from criminal obligation. Okay? So, ayan. So, in these two cases, okay, what if before ma-deliver kay Y, na wala siya through a fortuitous event? Or, yun nga, nawala siya through a fortuitous event. So, in the first case, extinguish. Pero in the second case, hindi siya ma-extinguish. Okay? May obligation pa rin siya. Pero hindi na siya yung to return the specific card na. Siyempre, magiging monetary na siya. Okay? So, it doesn't matter dun sa second, example, kung fortuitous event yan or hindi. Kasi, it is coming from a criminal obligation or liability. Okay? So, that is Article 1268. So, next, punta tayo sa Article 1269. The obligation having been extinguished by the loss of the thing, the creditor shall have all the rights of action which the debtor may have against third person by reason of the loss. So, what is this? Ganito lang yan. D is obliged to deliver to C a specific car. So, ang nangyari, yung specific car na yun, nawala, through the fault of a third person, which is X in this case. So, in this case, C will have the right of action against X. So, in this case, si C, pwede niyang singilin si X. Directly si X. Okay? Although, hindi, syempre, at the time of loss, hindi siya yung owner kasi hindi pa naman na-deliver sa kanya yung car, di ba? Pero, di ba, yun nga, sabi ni Article 1269, yung as if na magiging, right ni D against kay X, magiging right din yun ni C. Okay? So, sabi dito, di ba? The obligation having been extinguished by loss of the thing, that the creditor shall have all the rights of action which the debtor may have against the third person by reason of the loss. So, yun ang mangyayari dito. Okay? So, that's for yung loss of the thing na mode of extinguishment of obligation. So, now, we'll proceed to the condonation or the remission of the debt. So, when we say condonation or remission, that's basically forgiving the obligation or hindi mo na siya pababayaran. Okay, so 1270. So, ayan. Condonation or remission is essentially gratuitous. Pag sinabi natin gratuitous, ang ating cause ay our generosity, ibig sabihin walang valuable consideration na involved. Okay, and requires the acceptance of the obligor of the acceptance of the obligor, in this case, the donee, di ba? Donee. So, donor, donee. It may be made expressly or impliedly. Okay? So, one of the other kinds shall be subject to the rules which govern inofficious donation. So, by the way, marami tayong rules sa donation kasi actually meron ng separate portion tong donation under the civil code. Pero hindi na natin siya masyadong hindi na natin siya di-discuss masyado ngayon dahil pagdating natin ng contracts, titignan natin yung mga different forms ng donation. Okay? Or yung mga forms required para magkaroon ng valid donation. Okay, so 1271, the delivery of a private document evidencing a credit made voluntarily by the creditor to the debtor implies the renunciation of the action which the former had against the latter. So, anong ibig sabihin nito? Kunwari, di ba, may example ba tayo? Okay, wala tayong example. Okay, so, ayan. Kunwari, 'di ba meron tayong debtor na gumawa ng promissory note. So malamang-lamang yung promissory note na yun ibibigay niya sa kanyang creditor. Okay, kapag yung instrument na yun, yung promissory note na yun, so yun nga yun, private document evidencing a credit. So for example, yung promissory note na yun, binigay voluntarily nung creditor kay debtor. Okay, ang magiging natin doon, presumption natin doon ay ni-renounce yung debt or kinondone yung debt. Okay? Pero syempre, depende pa rin kung anong naging talagang intention. Pero yun nga, ang initial presumption, kinondone yung debt. Kapag hindi pa dumarating yung utang, hindi pa naman nagbabayad, pero binalik yung instrument. So, yun ang magiging presumption natin. Okay? So, in order to nullify this waiver, it should be claimed to be inofficious. The debtor and his heirs may uphold it by providing the delivery of document was made in virtue of payment of the debt. Okay? Okay? So, 1272. Whenever the private document in which the debt appears is found in the possession of the debtor, it shall be presumed that the creditor delivered it voluntarily unless the contrary is proved. So, somewhat related dun sa Article 1271, pero this time, kapag nakita lang na nasa possession ni debtor. So, ang presumption doon, binigay siya ni creditor, yun nga, ang purpose ay makondone yung debt. Pero yun nga, inulit natin, unless the contrary is proved. Okay, so depende pa rin talaga sa, kumbaga, kung presumption man ito, di ba? Presumption nga, di ba? Rebuttable presumption lang to. Ibig sabihin, kapag meron tayong evidence na mapapatunayan na hindi naman talaga siya ganun, hindi ganun yung naging intention, so ayun, marerebat itong presumption na to. Okay? So next, Article 1273. The renunciation of the principal debt shall extinguish the accessory obligations. But the waiver of the latter shall leave the former in force. So what is this? Article 1273, so ito yung mga examples natin. So in this case, D is indebted to C for 100,000 and this is secured by a chattel mortgage on his car. Okay? So basically, there are two obligations. Obligation in this ito yung principal obligation, yung payment ng 100,000. And another obligation is obligation na kalakip nitong chattel mortgage na to. So this is only an accessory obligation. Okay, dahil usually itong accessory obligation na to, mag-exist lang siya kung merong principal obligation to where it attach. Okay? So ang sabi ng Article 1273, kapag ang na-condone is yung principal obligation, automatically, yung accessory obligation, mawawala na rin. So, in this case, if the obligation to pay 100,000 is condoned, the accessory obligation in the chattel mortgage is also condoned. However, if the obligation in the accessory obligation is the one only condoned, hindi ibig sabihin na condone na rin yung principal obligation. So, for example, kapag na-condone, or sabi ni creditor, alisin mo na yung security, okay na yan. Okay, alisin mo na yung chattel mortgage, okay? So, ang mangyayari is, maalis lang yung liability under the chattel mortgage. Pero, hindi ibig sabihin na makakondone na rin yung 100,000. Hindi ganun po yun, okay? So, the obligation to pay the 100,000 remains in force. Okay? So, that is Article 1273. Okay? So, ayan. Ano yung next? Okay, so, may next pa tayo pala. Okay, so 1274. It is presumed that the accessory obligation of pledge has been remitted when the thing pledged after its delivery to the creditor is found in the possession of the debtor or of a third person who owns the thing. Okay, so ganito yan. Kapag sinabi kasi nating pledge, yung contract of pledge po, isa po yung real contract. Pag sinabi nating real contract kasi, isa sa requisite ng isang real contract, kailangan i-deliver mo yung specific thing na yon doon sa creditor. Okay? So, in this case, ang presumption daw na kapag binalik na ng creditor or napunta na sa debtor yung object of the pledge, ang presumption doon ay yun, na-condone na yung contract of pledge na yun. Okay? Or kapag napunta na siya doon sa third person who owns the thing. Kasi pwede namang mag-pledge ng hindi naman sa'yo. Okay? Syempre, kailangan ng consent ng third person na yun. So, pwede mong i-pledge ang pagmamay-ari ng kaibigan mo as long as nag-consent siya. Okay? So, that is Article 1274. Okay, mag-alala, pagdating ng contracts, mas maiintindihan pa natin yung mga sinasabi kong yan, yung real contract or whatsoever, di ba? Bakit kailangan ng delivery. Okay, so explain natin yan pagdating ng contracts, okay? So that is Article 1274. Let's move on now to the last topic na i-discuss natin on this video. So that is confusion or merger of rights. So, last time, sinabi natin yung definition ng confusion or merger of rights. Ito yung meeting of the qualities of a creditor and a debtor in the same person. So, ayun. Actually, nabanggit ata siya dito sa article. Ayan, tama. Dinefine siya ng Article 1275 mismo. The obligation is extinguished from the time the characteristic of creditor and debtor are merged in the same person. So, yun nga. Ang example natin dyan last time is si D gumawa ng promissory note. Yung promissory note binigay niya kay C, si C kay D, si C kay E kay F, and F pabalik kay D. So, ang nangyari is si D, na maker ng promissory note, which is the debtor, ay siya na rin ang naghahawak ng promissory note. Meaning, okay, siya na ang may claim, siya na ang pwedeng maningil doon sa promissory note. Kasi kung sino yung naghahawak ng promissory note, siya yung pwedeng maningil doon sa promissory note na yun. Okay, so in that case, siya ay creditor and debtor at the same time ng kanyang sarili. So at that moment, extinguish na yung obligation natin. Without prejudice to the rules of the negotiable instruments which will be discussed, di ba, pagdating ng negotiable instruments doon nyo. Okay, kasi, di ba, may mga certain pa tayo doon, situations na kailangan pang maintindihan. Okay? So, 1276. What is 1276? Merger which takes place in the person of the principal debtor or creditor benefits the guarantors. Okay? Confusion which takes place in the person of any latter of any of the latter. So, sino yung any of the latter? Ito, guarantor or the the creditor, di ba? Does not extinguish the obligation. So, anong ibig sabihin nito? Meron tayong example. Ito na lang, para mas maintindihan natin. So, M makes a promissory note payable to P. This note is secured by a contract of guarantee by G. So, ayan, si G. P sells the note to G. Okay. So, ang nangyari, nagkaroon ng meeting. Okay. By the way, ganito kasi yan. Ganito yung structure ng ating obligation in this case. Si M, siya yung debtor. Si G, debtor din siya. Anong pagkakaiba pero nila? Bakit debtor sila pareho pero ano meron? Debtor sila pareho pero yun nga lang si M siya yung principal debtor. However, si G siya yung subsidiary debtor. Parang kumbaga subsidiary liable. Kasi ang mangyayari is kapag si P hindi makasingil kay M, sinong pupuntahan ni P? Si G. Siya yung subsidiary liable kasi, okay? So yun ang mangyayari. Kapag nagkaroon ng meeting of the characteristic of a creditor and of a subsidiary debtor in one person, hindi po may extinguish yung obligation. Yun yung sinasabi ng Article 1276. Kasi yun ang nangyari dito. Nagkaroon ng meeting of the characteristic of a creditor and the characteristic of a subsidiary debtor. So in this case, kay G, nasa isang tao lang. Kasi ang nangyari, si P sells the note to G. So si G, siya na yung bagong creditor. Pero at the same time, ano nangyari? At the same time, siya yung subsidiary debtor nung specific note na yon. So, ang effect nun, hindi po ma-extinguish yung obligation. Alam nyo kung ano ma-extinguish? Yung guarantee lang. Yung guarantee, contract of guarantee. Okay? So, ang mangyayari, ayun, rather, G will be the new creditor of M. So, si M may utang pa rin na kung magkano man yung amount dun sa note na yan. Okay? So, yun yung magiging interpretation natin dito sa Article 1276. Ito yung example natin. Okay? So, next. Pang ilan to? Okay, so, okay, mukhang ito na yung last article natin for this video. So, Article 1277. Confusion does not extinguish a joint obligation except as regards the share corresponding to the creditor or debtor in whom the two characters concur. So, okay, so nabanggit yung joint obligation. Sana hindi nyo pa nakalimutan. Okay, so example tayo. A, B, and C are jointly liable. So, joint obligation. Jointly liable to D in the amount of 9,000. So, refresher lang. Magkano ang share ni A, B, and C? Okay, so kapag walang sinabi, ibig sabihin, Equal sila, so tigti 3,000. Evidence by a negotiable promissory note. D endorsed the note to E, and E who in turn endorsed it to A. Okay, so anong nangyayari? Si A, debtor dun sa note, tama? Debtor dun sa note. At the same time, napunta na sa kanya yung note, so naging creditor na rin siya ng sarili niya. Pero, hindi po may extinguish as a whole yung obligation. Ang may extinguish lang yung portion niya as a debtor. Okay, so in this case, A's share in the obligation is extinguished. That's the only obligation na may extinguish. Yung obligation ni B and C, hindi pa po yan may extinguish. Okay? So, because of confusion in his person only. Okay? However, the indebtedness of B and C in the amount of 3,000 each remains because as to them, there is no confusion. Walang confusion, di ba? Okay, consequently, B and C would be liable to A. So, ang mangyayari, magiging bagong creditor ni B and C, si A, for the amount of 3,000 pesos each. Okay? So, that is for today. That is our last article. Okay? So, again, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to hit the like button kung nagustuhan nyo tong video. And then, ma-inspire pa tayong gumawa ng mas marami pang video sa, hindi lang sa law, kundi sa mga accounting and any other subjects. Okay, so ayan. And, ayun, puntahan nyo yung link below kung gusto nyo matest yung sarili nyo. Pero for now, I believe kukunti pa lang yung mga questions natin yan. Pero soon, ipapopulate natin yan. Okay? So, ayan. Coming up next will be, okay, so hindi na naman natin na-edit. Coming up next will be the extinguishment of obligations part 3. Okay, so that is the last part that will be covering compensation and novation. Okay, so see you guys on the next video.